What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NBA to the Galaxy Pod, featuring your hosts. To the right of me, Slimothy Jones, otherwise known as Slim. You can find him on X at RTR30111. You can find myself at Scotty Drowned. On this episode, you can see by the thumbnail, by the header, we're going to talk a good bit about that Lakers-Celtics matchup over the weekend. We'll talk a little bit about the Lakers, the LeBron injury, how that's going to impact them going forward. We're also going to look at it from the Celtics side of things, like getting that big win against the Lakers. How serious did they appear to take that game? Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown go off in that game. So are the Celtics, it seems like they're stepping up to the plate when it comes to these big matchups that are starting to come by. We saw it with the Cavs. Jason Tatum get real excited when they get a big lead, Jaylen Brown. So they're taking these games serious as we approach the playoffs. So we'll talk a good bit about that. We had the Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder matching up on back-to-back game days. So Sunday and Monday, they played on back-to-back days, split the series. We'll talk about those two teams. And then we just got like kind of a little bit of quick news flashes around the league. We'll obviously just take it wherever the viewers and the commenters want to go with the show. But I have quite a few notes we can kind of touch on a few more of these teams around the league and some of the situations going on. But happy Tuesday. All that being said, got all that out. Slim, how are you feeling, my man, today?
Feeling great, man. Hey, man, it's springtime, and it's about to start warming up where I'm at. So, hey, can't complain about that. But nonetheless, man, doing good on this good Tuesday evening. How about yourself, though?
Yeah, bro, you hit the nail on the head with the weather, honestly, because like the clock's being pushed forward, like getting that extra daylight. Like I'm gonna go walk my dog after we hop off here. Yeah. And like it's getting warmer out, and I get in better moods when it's warmer out. It makes me more active. It makes me want to go out and do more things. So I get real excited about the warm weather, bro. Yeah. You probably get it really warm down there, though.
Man, tell me about it. Very warm down here.
Did you get snow though? Did you get snow this winter?
Nah, not where I live. But we don't get a ton of snow.
No, okay. I was wondering. I know some of the like Midwest. I know that's a little north of you, but
it'll ice before it snow down here. Let's put it like
I got you. So don't get that. They don't get like cold enough for that snow.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, bro, happy you feeling good on this Tuesday, man. Let's get this shared out. That's what I wanted to do. Get this shared out on X. Get that retweeted.
Give me some neat comments.
Perfect. Yeah. Let's get D-Rab on the screen here.
My guy D-Rab, what's going on, man?
Good.
He hasn't been texting a group chat in 3 days, man. I know what's going on with him.
Well, the Lakers lost 2 in a row.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, yeah.
You feel me? We had that convo on, when was that? Friday we had that convo?
Yeah,
was that Friday?
Yeah, Friday. Yeah, I think that was last time we takes.
About the Celtics and Lakers matchup. Yeah. I think that was Friday because it was the day before the game. Yeah. But then they blew the one to the Brooklyn
Nets last night. Yeah.
That's the tough one you have to swallow there. But is LeBron gonna win MVP over SGA? Thunderdog Blazers with no starters, but Lakers lose to Nets without LeBron. I see where the logic's going there, but it appears actually. Excuse Rocket. All right, he's done. It appears actually that Jokic is stepping in to the MVP conversation. For some, I tuned into the link you sent me earlier. What was that? The arenas, the
arena.
Yeah, Gil's Arena. Stephen A. Smith was on there. He was cursing and stuff. It was interesting.
Man, that was a great pod, bro.
There's security on there. That shit was funny. That it is a great pod. In general, it's just an entertaining pod. But they got into that conversation around Jokic, around SGA. Looking at Jokic and some of the numbers he's putting up with his surrounding cast there that isn't the most consistent surrounding cast, right? It's not that it's a bad surrounding cast. Those guys are just so on and off. You look at Jamal Murray, he has a great night on Monday night, difficult day on Sunday, right? So they had that big discussion there. But I think Bron, he's going to suffer, obviously, from the injury, right? And I believe, was this a groin injury?
Yeah, another groin injury. Yeah,
A groin injury. So that's, I mean, that's never good, right? When you have those interior like leg muscles, like that stuff is never good. Hamstrings, quads, anything like that. Um, when you look at the Lakers, well, let me ask you where you want to start. So I'm getting ahead of myself here. Do you want to start with the actual matchup of the Celtics and the Lakers? Let's start there.
yeah,
Get
for
your
sure.
thoughts from that
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
What
for
were your
sure.
thoughts coming out of that Boston and LA matchup from Saturday?
Man, the Jays, man, got to give it to the Jays. Jason Tatum dropped 40 points, a near triple double. He
Yeah,
was on one for sure. He definitely had this matchup circling his calendar. And then got to give it to Jalen Brown as well, like the way he was defending Luca. It was pretty effective. I think it was like somewhere in the first quarter he had stole the ball from Luca and he had a big dunk, and the TD guard just went kind of crazy about it. But he
yeah,
finished the game with like 31 points. But to me, man, I think like don't get me wrong, in the first half it was a close game. I think going to the second half, the Celtics were up like 4 points or something like that. But then it was like the third quarter defense, like the Celtics, they was like communicating, they was locking those guys up. Like they held
yeah,
the Lakers to shoot like 21% from the field. And also those guys committed 6 turnovers. So I think for me, man, it was the defense that stood out overall. Like just the way they got things done as a collective unit. The
yeah,
way they contained Luca and obviously LeBron before he went down his groin injury. But I got to give it up to their defense for sure. But yeah, man, it
yeah,
was a fun matchup. But if I'm Lakers fans, like I wouldn't get too down on myself. You only lost by 10 points, and LeBron he went down. So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Was that the final matchup of the season? I think so. I want to say it
Um,
was, yeah. But I mean, if they were to
Yeah, they
potentially,
only play twice, right? If they're
yeah, they
Western
only played
Conference,
two
Eastern
times. Yeah,
Conference, they only play twice. So yeah, they play twice.
yeah. So
Um,
at full strength, if I'm LA man, I would probably say I like our chances.
in Boston too, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, on the road, that's always going to be a tough game. I think there is two ways you can look at it, and I think one perspective is the one you presented. I think the other one is that the fact that like you didn't have Derek White have a night, right? Like you didn't have like Peyton
Hmm.
Pritchard having a night. You didn't have some of those other guys, a Sam Hauser off the bench, having a night, hitting 4 threes, right? Like
Hmm.
it was Jason Tatum and it was Jaylen Brown, and they had to do a lot in this game. Like you said, put up over 70 points combined.
Hmm.
Um, I think on the other side of it, if you run into the Celtics, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown there's a balance to it. Playing like that, but if that ball's moving around and Peyton Pritchard and Derek White and Al Horford and like these different guys on this team are hitting shots around the perimeter, that's when the Celtics are really operating at full cylinders. So it is a balance because obviously does Jason Tatum, does Jaylen Brown, do they get into a rhythm if all those other guys are hitting so many shots and maybe taking a few shots from them? So there's a balance to it, but at the end of the day, I do agree with you. I think if you can be competitive with the Boston Celtics in Boston, I know there was a few injuries both ways. You're going to be able to compete with most teams, but
Yeah, but I'm
it
not
is a
gonna
groin
lie.
injury.
I
Go ahead.
probably,
Go ahead.
I think I'm lying on that. Like now that you put it in that perspective, it's the others. Like Boston others are way
Yeah.
better than the Lakers others. Like
Yeah.
Peyton Pritchard of the world, the Sam Hauser, D White, Drew Holiday, Porzingis. Like besides Luke and LeBron, those guys don't stand a chance to those guys I just listed. So
Yeah.
yeah, when you look at it from that perspective, it makes total sense for the Celtics to be the favorites in the potential finals matchup. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I tend to agree there. Um, Looking at it from like the Lakers moving forward in this sense, right?
Hmm.
What do you expect? Like, can Luca just go MVP mode for 2 weeks until LeBron gets back? Like, obviously, the other side of that question is 2 weeks all it takes for LeBron at the age of 40 plus to come back from a groin injury, right? That's not something that you can play around with or risk too much, right? Like if that
Yeah.
shit like rips completely, you're toast. So at his age, I imagine they're going to be extra cautious bringing him back from an injury like that. Maybe it's not that serious. Maybe it's overplayed, overhyped. But do you think Luka can like hit that level with this roster? Because I guess the concern for me with Luka not generally speaking, but just concerned with him reaching that MVP status or level of play again, even for 2 weeks, is that he just has not shot the ball well. And he has not shot the ball well for a while. It's been most of this season. So what are your thoughts there? Like, do you think maybe Luka can turn it on for a little bit? Do you think the Lakers can survive with Austin Reeves in an increased role? Anything like that?
If I'm being honest, man, I don't think so. You listed it for one of the right reasons. Like with Luka, he has been struggling shooting the ball. I mean, like you consider that, and also I don't think he's at 100%. He's 100% healthy.
That's a good add-in. That's a good add-in because it sounds like I'm dissing Luka, but he just even putting up triple doubles. He shot what?
Yeah, he still shot the ball pretty bad.
8 for 26. That's my birthday, by the way. Shout out me. 8 for 26 from the field, bro.
Yeah, that's not good.
So yeah, it wasn't great, even with the triple double. But that's a good point. He doesn't look healthy.
Yeah, he really doesn't, man. And that's where you have to look at it like from that perspective. Like, okay, how much should we ask of him? Like, obviously, I'm pretty sure, like, post the LeBron era, you're going to lean into him as a franchise guy, no doubt. But it's like, now, is it really worth, like, putting all this extra load on him when he's currently not 100% healthy? And, like, with Austin Reeves, like, he struggled last night as well against the Brooklyn Nets. But it's like, is that too much of a role for him? Because he was thriving in that third option role. But can he be the second option? I don't know, man. It's really matchup dependent as well. Like, they play the Bucks, like you said, and they play Denver. Those are going to be hard matchups to overcome for sure. So, I'm gonna say no, man. I'm gonna say no on that. I don't think that they have enough to beat those teams. So yeah.
Interesting. So I was actually gonna ask D-Rab if you're in the comments still. One, shout out to PSG, that money line hit. We were on a play for soccer there. He put that in the comments. But Lakers need Rui back. Yeah. So Rui's out right now. I wasn't even aware of that. I guess I just didn't even notice it over the weekend. But D-Rab in the comments, you're a Lakers fan. Like, how confident are you? Like, he obviously said it's LeBron James. He's a freak, so he's not like doubting that LeBron's going to be back when they say he's going to be back. This is a great point. This is a great point as well. He thinks JJ can figure out a recipe to keep getting wins. Not as consistent, probably, but definitely can still win. And at the end of the day, the hope is that you just have to get through 2 weeks, right? That's the timeline that we're looking at right now, 1 to 2, which you mentioned it, the Bucks and the Nuggets on the road this Thursday and Friday. So that's a back-to-back on the road against the Bucks and Nuggets. That sucks. Then they go home to play the Suns on Sunday, then on to play the Spurs. They play the Nuggets again, play the Bucks again. So that's kind of the next 2 weeks for the Lakers in that span. So hopefully, I guess the hope is that you get LeBron back as soon as possible.
Yeah.
The only thing, Slim, is the Nuggets are a game ahead of them for the 2 seed right now. The Memphis Grizzlies are actually even with the Lakers. I think the Lakers are ahead of them technically because they have one less loss, but they also have one less win. So they're basically the same record. Houston's right there. I didn't mention Golden State, but I mean, what? You're 4 games back of the LA Lakers. The T-Wolves are 4.5 games back. So once again, West is very tight right now.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
If you lose 3 out of 4 games, where does that leave them?
That's what I'm saying. Like, all it takes is one bad week for the Lakers and one good week for the Warriors, baby. We may be up there.
That's what you're hoping for. For sure.
Yeah, man. D-Rab, I agree. Like, with I think for them, I can see them stealing some games for sure. You know, like JJ ready to cook up the recipe and they go out there and execute.
Luka has a great performance, right? Like,
yeah, for sure. And then, with Rui, if he comes back down this stretch, But it's crazy this may sound. I think that this injury to LeBron was low-key a blessing in disguise. The reason I say that is because he is up in age and damn it, he can use the rest. He has been
Very true.
over the past 2 months. He has been putting up some great numbers. I got to give it to him. Somebody that's 40 years old putting up these types of numbers we've never seen this before. I doubt we probably ever will.
Yeah.
And he's doing it at a pretty efficient rate.
Yeah.
All across the charts. Rebounding, assisting, scoring. Shooting it. So I got to give him his
It's a
flowers on
good
that.
point.
But yeah, I think that he could for sure use the rest, as well as like I think another way to look at it is how would this team just look with Luca anyway? Like let's just see, how those guys play alongside him, so that way they can like reevaluate in the offseason, see what they
Yeah.
need to do. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I tend to agree with that. And I was actually just checking here. Okay, so Giannis is scheduled to come back Tuesday or tonight, I guess, against the Pacers. I was just checking because you mentioned like teams that they could potentially upset. Like the Bucks could be one of those teams. I think, like even on the road. Um, to your point, yeah, that is actually a great point about LeBron and needing a rest. At his age, what they were asking of him, to your point, like the workload that he was
Mhm.
receiving while he was playing and while he was healthy, it could work as a blessing in disguise for the Lakers and LeBron come postseason, to your point. But
Mhm.
the other thing, man, is right now, for example, if they stayed at the 3 seed, they would play the Warriors in the first round.
Damn.
So I don't know. It becomes the same. Like I don't know. If I'm the Warriors, I don't want to play the Lakers first round. If I'm the Lakers, I don't want to play the Warriors first round. Right. Um, if I'm the Lakers, maybe it's not worth it to go all out for the second and third seed as well. Maybe you favor a matchup with the Rockets or the Memphis Grizzlies a little bit more than even the T Wolves, who have played a lot better lately. So, what are your
Yeah,
thoughts
man.
there?
The thing that's actually a great point, man. But I'm not going to lie. You have to be very careful doing that type of stuff, like
Yeah,
dropping games, man. Because
yeah,
I was kind of thinking it the same way with my team. Like I was like, man, it's like when you look at those teams, like
yeah.
certain teams you want to dodge, but it's like we're not in a predicament to do that. Like we just need to get in the postseason and go from
Mess
there.
around
With
and
the
find
Lakers'
yourself
perspective, like
in the play-in.
let's just say they want to drop down to the fourth seed or something.
Yeah,
There's no guarantee because like you mentioned, the T Wolves they've been playing much better. You still got who's down there? The Clippers. You know, all those teams is all it takes is one bad week from those top
yeah,
four teams, and like one good week from those teams, and they could potentially slide up in the standings. So you have to definitely be careful with doing things like that for sure. But I definitely feel what you're saying. Like you do want to find a favorable matchup for sure in the postseason. I will say this: I know most teams in the West are dodging the Nuggets and the Warriors, bro. I know that. Like they don't want to play them in the first round. So
yeah,
it's like the Jokic and Curry, the fear they put in the opposing team heart. So yeah,
yeah. No, I tend to agree.
I agree,
I
D. Rap.
the thing the thing that you almost come to the conclusion of, though, when you really look at the West, is that, to your point, is it worth it potentially dropping into the play-in tournament, having that sketchy
Yeah,
ass situation?
yeah.
And on the flip side, is there like a favorable matchup? Like really, like a favorable matchup?
Mhm.
The Rockets and the Grizzlies are young.
Mhm.
I- who scares you the least out of like the top seven, including the T Wolves? Who scares you the least out of those teams? Would it be the T Wolves?
I would
I
say
feel like
it
I
would
feel like
be
the T Wolves
Houston
are
and
skirting a little
it
bit
would
right
be
now.
it would be Houston and Minnesota. Um, not but Minnesota, not more so, and more so Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, I feel that. I
That would
feel
be
that
the
actually.
deciding factor. I don't think that.
Detractor.
Yeah, I don't think that they will have what it takes to like bench him. Like I think that they don't want to kill his pride by doing that. So when I look at a team like Minnesota and Houston, I just don't think they have enough to compete at the moment. Although they are a very good team, they just don't put fear in me. If I'm being honest, like the only team that I wouldn't want to see in the playoffs in the West is the Denver Nuggets. I would not want to see that team. So
It's fair. That takes us to the next topic, man, and that's going to be that back-to-back series between the Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder on Sunday and Monday evening. I think it was Sunday afternoon, actually, but nonetheless,
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma City takes the first game on Sunday. Nuggets come back yesterday. They take the second game there. J-Dub goes out in that second game. He only plays 14 minutes. He has a bit of a nick there, so we'll see what that turns into. But looking at this back-to-back series, what you saw over the weekend, you just mentioned how you really wouldn't want to play the Nuggets out of most of the teams in the West. Where are you at with the Denver Nuggets after watching them this weekend, kind of watching Jokic, play against the Oklahoma City Thunder, go against Hartenstein and Chet, seeing it right in front of your face, the matchups? Where are you at with the Denver Nuggets in the West?
Denver, I feel like over the course of this season, they haven't been talked about enough. They are for sure a team to be reckoned with in the postseason. I wouldn't overlook them.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray, he has. I think you just said that with him. Like he have a game, then he'll disappear. But Jamal Murray is one of those players in the playoffs. He kicks it up a notch. He really does.
Yeah.
So
And he did that yesterday, right?
yeah.
That was
So when you
playoff,
consider
right?
that, you add a guy like that alongside the Joker. We all know Joker about. They got Russ. Russ now he's been great. Christian Brown has taken one hell of a leap this season.
Yeah.
Peyton Watson, Aaron Gordon been shooting the three ball at a pretty efficient rate.
Michael Porter Jr.
So
too, man. Michael
yeah,
Porter Jr.
MPJ he's been pretty good. So when you consider all those factors as well as Michael Malone, man, that team is not a team to just overlook. So I think they ceiling is the Western Conference Finals. Like I think they can make it there again. But yeah, like just the matchups that they just went against in the OKC this past weekend
Yeah.
kind of proved that it was a 1-1 series, but you seen the adjustments that Denver made. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The real adjustment I saw, bro, was Jokic's approach. Like you
Mhm.
see in that first matchup, he shoots like 10 threes. He was really aggressive offensively from a scoring standpoint, I feel like. But
Mhm.
in that second matchup, he kind of went into, I don't want to say facilitator mode because he still put up what, 30, no, 24 points though. So that is a more facilitator worthy type of Jokic gameplay. And he ends up with what, almost a triple double.
Yeah, he only missed 5 shots in that matchup, 15 to 20.
Yeah, my bad. He had
Yeah.
35 in that one, 24 in the first one on not bad shooting, but not typical Jokic.
Nah, that's bad shooting, bro.
Yeah, for Jokic, that's bad shooting for
Yeah,
Jokic.
10 to 23 from the field.
Because
That's bad,
he
bro.
shot like 10 3-pointers. Am I mistaken on
Yeah,
that? I
he's
think he
two
went
or
2 for
10,
10 from the 3-point
2 for 10
line.
on threes. Yeah.
But to your point, yeah, 15 for 20 in that second matchup. Obviously was more efficient. 18 rebounds, dominated the boards, and still, once again, has the 8 assists. So, yeah, the Denver Nuggets are playing very, very strong down the stretch here. And quite honestly, they were staying afloat throughout the season. It's not like they were ever down too far. But when you look at the Nuggets right now, I know you said ceiling Western Conference Finals. Like, should they be mentioned with that big three that we always talk about on the show? Like the Cavs, the Celtics, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like, should we include the Nuggets in that conversation with those three teams as well as like the juggernauts? Or like, I guess what I'm asking you, who are you taking in a series between OKC and Denver? Say that's the Western Conference Finals. Like, who are you taking right now off the top of your head?
I'm gonna say Denver. Say Denver. I think the Joker. I'm a huge believer in him. Huge fan of his game. I think he'll be a problem for Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I have to give like in game one, Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein did do one hell of a job guarding the Joker in the first game on Sunday. Obviously that's why I said like if you watch the game, you would see that. But if you didn't, like you'll just check the box score and see, oh well, Jokic had 24
Yeah.
points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists, but it wasn't as dominant or as smooth as he often, is.
Yeah.
He finished the game shooting 10 to 23 from the field and 2 for 10 from 3-point range. So They you got to give it to Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein. They were the unsung heroes in that matchup. But I have to give it to Jokic the way he responded. Like you said, it was more so like a calming presence. Like, let me, do it how I
Yeah,
normally do. Don't just jack up a whole bunch of threes. Because I don't know how many threes he shot in the second matchup, but I'm sure it wasn't close to 10. So,
right. Yeah, if he only
yeah.
missed 5
But
shots.
in that first matchup, you got to give OKC credit. Like, they committed just 5 turnovers. That's pretty impressive in the modern day era. Like, especially speaking from a Warriors fan, like we turn the ball over quite a lot.
Yeah.
So for the Thunder to just only commit 5 turnovers, that's pretty impressive.
He only shot 2 threes in that second matchup yesterday. So kind of speaks to his approach. I will say it was a back-to-back, so once again, you'll
Yeah.
never see a back-to-back in the postseason, so we got to take that into account a little bit there.
Mhm.
But still, it's an impressive performance. And it's not just this series against Oklahoma City Thunder. That's more of like a measuring test, right? Like a measurement stick type of game. But it's just the way they've been playing down the stretch. They're in the 2 seed right now. They're a game ahead of the Lakers, the
Mhm.
Grizzlies, the Rockets. So they have a chance right now. Rockets, Grizzlies, they've won games recently, but they haven't been playing overall like they started the season. They have both won 3 in a row though recently. So let me slow down a little bit here. But maybe they can separate themselves is what I'm trying to get at. Maybe the Nuggets can separate themselves from
Yeah, I
the 3
mean,
teams below.
let's say the way they end the season out of for sure, determine it. Just the way how they go out, and yeah, man, like when you look at Denver, man, it's like somebody like Jokic. He just makes the game look so damn easy. Like
Yeah.
the way he passed the ball, rebound, like he's averaging a triple double. Is this the first time this has been done by a center? I would want to say yeah. So yeah, I don't think that a big man has averaged a triple double in the game. So yeah.
Trying to see. No, you're right. Because like for some reason I thought he had done it before, but he was really close in 2022. He had 9.8 assists per game. So
Hmm.
yeah, this would be technically the first time. But yeah, I guess he was if he ended with 9.8, he probably was averaging a triple double at one point during that season. So I guess that could technically happen again if they rest him down the stretch. But it's a tight
Yeah,
West.
it's
Who
still
knows
like
how many games guys are going to be really resting? Um,
yeah. And then like also another key note about that matchup, um, with the last night matchup, no J Dub in the second half of this ball game.
yeah,
And they,
yeah,
they lost by 13 points. So
yeah. He went out early in that game. They still put up 127 points.
yeah.
So it wasn't. To be fair, they scored 127 on Sunday. They won by
Hmm.
what? 24? And then you score 127 on Monday, you lose by 13. So that was just the way things worked out for them. But 127, you can't be mad when J-Dub goes out in the first half.
Hmm.
Dort gives you 26, hits 8 3-pointers. He's just become knocked down. But J-Dub will be important. They're going to need him definitely to I don't know. He's a pretty big piece to their team, man. Like I don't
Oh,
know.
for
Like
sure. Yeah.
how screwed would they be? Like I guess when you look in the first round, they would play what? The LA Clippers. So they should be able to beat the Clippers without J-Dub.
Um,
I don't know. It's a right hip strain, so maybe it's not going to be a long-term thing. Hopefully it's not. But just thinking about what he means to that team. Obviously, there's always talk around SGA, but J-Dub is a very, very valuable piece of that team.
yeah, for sure. I mean, they're second best scorer, so
Yeah.
second option. So hopefully they get him back soon. What he had like a hamstring injury or something?
It said on ESPN a right hip strain.
Oh, okay.
So something with the hip. That's a little weird, but um how are you feeling about the Thunder? How are you feeling about SGA versus Jokic in that MVP conversation that's starting to pop up?
Man, I know a lot of people. No, I'm not gonna lie. Jokic, he has been doing some crazy things. Like even this past Friday, I don't know if you tuned in, but that matchup against the Suns, that was one hell of a game. And Jokic, he made history. He put up some type of crazy numbers. I don't know what it was, but I feel like we
It was
shouldn't
like
get to
30, 20, and 20.
yeah,
I think
something
that's
like that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, like Jokic, he's all time great, no doubt. But I feel like we shouldn't get too caught up in like this recency bias thing.
Yeah.
Showing him a lot of love because SGA been pretty much doing this all season, and I'm not even saying that the Joker hasn't, but I feel like at some point you have to, reward the guy. Like there was a number one seed last season, nobody had them, being the number one seed. I for sure didn't.
Yeah.
And then they're the number one seed again this season. And keep in mind, like they went like 20 games without no centers at all.
Yeah.
And SGA was just pretty much willing those guys to the promised land during that stretch. So I feel like at some point you do have to like reward him. Like I don't
Yeah.
see why not. Like the Joker, he's going to be great for a long time, and you're going to have these tough decisions. But I just feel like his SGA award, So yeah, I actually had him winning it
Joker,
last year.
if Jokic ends up averaging a triple double,
Damn.
you know what I mean? Like I do feel you. I agree. I think SGA right now should win it. He's been the most consistent throughout the whole season. But if you average a triple double, I mean that's kind of crazy. Like I think
As a center, to be exact,
that will
as a big
split
man.
the vote a little bit, honestly. But
But hold up though, is it like a co MVP thing? Can they do that or?
I don't think so. But maybe. I guess anything's possible.
Yeah.
Maybe. I wanted to ask you: have the Warriors played the Thunder in the postseason yet with SGA?
No, we haven't.
Are you ready? Are you like ready to hate him? Like when you guys do play him, like, and I don't mean it like I know you respect the game. I know you respect his game, but like the, I don't even know what to call it. Like the flopping, like the
yeah.
I don't know, the flailing of the body, like not just the arms and legs, but like the movement of the body into contact, man. Like once again, he's an incredible player. I haven't beat on my favorite team, right? Like so I understand foul merchants. But I do also understand how annoying it is in the postseason when it creeps up on you. We played Jalen Brunson last postseason, and I got to feel the other end of the spectrum of foul baiting. So it was not fun. But what are your thoughts on SGA's play style there, bro?
I mean, I will say this though, like that's a great point. But what I wonder is like, will he have the same whistle in the postseason that he has had during the regular season? Because it's like two different things. Like it's like a new season basically. But I mean, most Warriors fans don't like him.
Yeah.
Based off us playing him because he has gotten to the free throw line a ton, and he has taken a few shots at Steph. Making Instagram posts and whatnot. But his play style is interesting. Like the mid range game, you know, foul merchant, getting to the free throw line. He has a pretty fun play style, I'd say. I don't care for all that though. Like getting to the free throw line constantly. But I mean, you can't really just hate on it because it is a skill, But I think that we'll have the perfect game plan to match up against a guy like SGA in the postseason. So, yes, it does be an entertaining matchup.
I wanted to because I know you both said less fouls get called in the playoffs. So I just wanted to go back and look at his free throw totals.
He should definitely be leading the league, right?
Well, last postseason. So I wanted to see if he was still getting calls in the postseason. So against the Mavericks, which I believe they lost that series, right? Obviously the Mavericks went to the finals. He shot 6.7 out of 8 free throw attempts per game. And then against New Orleans, he shot 8.3 free throw attempts per game, which I'm not sure.
I mean, I have a guy. I have a guy on my team now that gets to the free
Jimmy.
throw line a lot.
That's fair. You have somebody to combat it. That's funny
Yeah.
as shit.
Like, man, Jimmy gets to the free throw line, bro. Like easily.
Yeah, no, he's a good one at it as well. SGA though, he shoots about 9 free throws a game.
From the look of it, 90%. So
yeah. So we'll see, man. It's what I was getting at, because Jalen Brunson, y'all say they don't call the fouls in the postseason. They call the fouls for Jalen Brunson. I know they do that.
Yeah, so Jalen Brunson for sure got that superstar whistle.
I can only imagine SGA having a crazy whistle come postseason as well.
Yeah, I agree.
And if he wins MVP, which I guess is that announced? That's like announced in the middle of the playoffs, right?
I think right before, I want to say, because I know Steph got
right
his.
Before?
I think Steph got his during the. I don't know. No, actually, you're right.
Going into the first round playoff series, that I feel like they don't say like MVP so and so. You know what I mean?
Beat during the first round. Yeah, I want to.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting if he starts getting the calls. What I'm getting at, it feels like it might be the Cavs year over in the East, but it feels like it's the Oklahoma City's year in the Western Conference. It feels like it's SGA's year, but I guess we'll see how the season finishes, man.
Yeah. Hey, I agree with D-Rad coming right here, saying that his mid-range game reminds him how Kobe used to play. I do agree. Like, his mid-range game is for sure lethal.
Very smooth.
It is like stuck on automatic. So
yeah, it is fun to see a guy that doesn't, just like jack up threes. And I say that like very respectfully, because obviously I'm not talking about a guy like Steph Curry who's like mastered his game that way.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's sometimes like I'm going to use Luka as an example. I don't mean to like pick on him, mm-hmm. but, shooting 10 3-pointers in the game or taking a guard down to the post.
Yeah. 6'7", by the way.
You know what I'm saying? Like a 6'7" forward that can handle the ball like a point guard. He is a point guard, don't get me wrong, but handles the ball at a forward size. He has a post game. Let's just take these little guards down to the post.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we just settle for threes too much in this day and age, man.
Yeah, they do, man. A lot of guys, they dodge like the physicality. Like, like back then, guys was embracing it, going down there to the paint and getting hit. That's what they love. But yeah, man, it was to one point with Luka, man. I used to watch him a lot. It's just like every time down the court, he was just going to do a step back three.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No lie, bro.
Lie. Bro. And I think that, maybe that's where the Mavs were talking about like the conditioning, because step back three, that's a lazy shot selection. Like, obviously, right? Like, you don't have to work too hard for the step back three.
Yeah, especially with him being 6'7", anyway, you really can't contest it to a certain degree, so
he was hitting them up until he wasn't.
Yeah, until he wasn't D-Rap.
And then he's shooting like 2 for 13 from the 3-point line and not taking his ass to the paint. I know he was beat up in the finals, so I'm not gonna hold him too much weight there, right? But you expected a little bit better performance. I'm kidding about the Mavs though. It's not a reason to trade Luka. Just looking around the league, man, and you can stop me wherever you want here, but Cavaliers right now, 14-game winning streak across the league right now. They're just doing it like silently. I feel like it's silent. It's a 14-game damn win streak. Like they're just rolling. Am I sleeping on the Cavs by still favoring the Celtics? Like, have the Cavs earned to be the favorite in the East?
I wouldn't say all that, man. I mean, you got to respect the defending champs. They're the champions for a reason.
Yeah. I
will say this. They are not far off, though. They're like right there in that conversation, though. So, hey, I say that. And, yeah, man, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're just doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
And it was a great point I was watching on Gil's Arena. They brought this up, and I feel like it's really a good topic to discuss.
Yeah.
Like what Donovan mentioned, is he not getting enough MVP love? Like, obviously he's not going out there averaging close to the numbers that a Jokic or an SGA is, pretty much doing, but he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
He have guys like Garland, the new addition of Hunter, Mobley, Allen, Ty Jerome, all those good guys on that team that can pretty much, take over a game if needed be. But I think a lot of people kind of overlook the fact that Donovan Mitchell, don't get it twisted, can easily still average like 27 to 28 points per game. It's just
Yeah.
not needed, due to those other guys on the team. He's just taking a step back and doing what's best for the team, which is what it's ultimately all about, like the team success, just trying to get over that hump. So my question to you is like, is Donovan Mitchell not get enough love to be the MVP of the NBA?
Well, it's tough, right? Like, because I do agree with your point. But, like, where would he come on the list, right? So, like, right now it's SGA, Jokic, Steph. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Steph is in that the combo. Like, it's obviously Jokic and SGA up here, I believe, but
Mm-hmm.
Steph is, like, right here. Like, he's in the combo. So, like, is Donovan Mitchell more worthy than Stephen Curry? To D-Rad's point, like, LeBron James, they were the 2 seed. Like, is he more worthy than LeBron James? Like, and I'm not arguing against it because I do agree with you. I think if Donovan Mitchell wanted to, and I think in certain games, certain moments of bigger games, he does go into that MVP mode where he can put up 30, 35, 40 points on a given night. He can get hot from the 3-point line. He is unguardable, quite honestly, for like his skill set, his athleticism. He's unguardable one-on-one is what I should say. The numbers just aren't good enough. And maybe it's not his fault. Maybe it's the fact, to your point, that the team is so good around him.
Yeah.
But then to that point, is he the most valuable if his team is so good around him?
Yeah. That's
so I do like that you brought him up in the MVP conversation because he would be top 5, 6-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And I think SGA has garnered so much attention this year.
Yeah.
That everybody else has kind of gotten left out. Like he was running away with it at a certain point because he was averaging like 35 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
Came a little bit down to earth. He's averaging like 32, 33 right now. When I look at D Mitch, he's averaging 24, 25 points, about 5 rebounds, about 5 assists. If he was averaging more assists, I think I would start to, raise him up a notch and a notch further. But I don't know. It is tough, man. They have the best. Do they have the best record now? Yeah, they do. They do have the best record in the NBA right now, even better than the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I feel you. It is a great conversation point. I think it's a fair point. I just think it feels like SGA's ran away with it, but maybe I'm mistaken. I'm going to check the odds here real quick.
Something to discuss for sure. I mean, he just
How do you feel
a step back.
So, how do you feel about it?
I feel like I pretty much agree with what you said. Like, he can't be in the conversation. I don't think that he's more worthy over the Joker or SGA. Although he can be mentioned in those conversations, just the conversation, like, top 5 MVP candidates or, something to that degree. Like, because the way I look at it, like a guy like Donovan Mitchell, he could easily average like 27 to 29 points per game easily.
Yeah, I do agree.
Just the fact, like, due to the others on the team, the addition of DeAndre Hunter and all those guys, he just sacrificing doing what's best for the team, which is like what D-Rab just said in the comments, like they have championship aspirations. So the number one thing that comes with that is sacrifice. And I'm pretty sure, during training camp, all those other meetings that these type of things were brought up. So yeah, I definitely feel like he should get some love without a doubt. But hey, he was an all-star starter. Without a doubt should be first team All-NBA, I say. So that's a nice way to look at it. So just put him in the conversations.
All NBA first team. So I'm thinking out loud here. So SGA, Jokic. Tatum? Like who? Who else?
SGA.
Is Tatum on there?
SGA.
Like first team? Are we
SGA,
sleeping on Tatum?
Jokic,
Because Tatum's in
Tatum, D. Mitch. Well, who would be that fifth?
So SGA, D. Mitch would be the guards. But once again, man, I'm not.
Wait, but it's positionless though. Like you don't have. It don't have to be like the same format.
Oh, so you don't even need like a center
No,
or.
like it could be 5 big men make first team. So
So I wonder. Let me not forget about the East, man. Because immediately my mind goes to Steph, D. Mitch, SGA, Jokic. And LeBron gets favoritism too. Like, and not to say that LeBron's not worthy. It's just that if the votes are between him and Jason Tatum, who gets the votes for first team?
I think Tatum. Yeah. I'll say JT.
I think so too.
I think he's worthy of. I mean, he has had some impressive.
I think he's worthy.
Yeah, he has some pretty impressive performances against elite teams in the league. So I think it would be. I wouldn't say best, but I don't think that. Well, they're the second seed, so I don't see how nobody wouldn't make first team All NBA.
Yeah.
It's up for debate for sure, though.
Right now, LeBron is averaging 25, 8, and 8. So 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Tatum's averaging 27, 8 or 9 rebounds and 6 assists. So they're close in numbers, but I think Tatum, like, I don't know. It's hard. It's tough. It's tough, especially when you go positionless. Like, if you can have 3 guards, I guess you go, like, maybe you don't go 3 guards. Maybe you go SGA. Who are you putting on there, Steph or D. Mitch?
Oh man. I give D Mitch the nod.
He's got the higher seeding.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing great basketball all season long. So for us, we're just starting to figure this thing out. So I'll be fair with it. I won't just.
Their numbers are relatively the same as well. So
yeah, I wouldn't be biased though, because that's my guy. But the Cavs has been great all season long, and we're just pretty much starting to figure this thing out. So hey.
So it would be. I think for me, it would be right, at least right now, just off the top of my head, D. Mitch, SGA. I would probably go LeBron and Tatum. And then Jokic, obviously, But I don't know. Am I forgetting somebody there?
So no Giannis love.
Let's see. 51 games, 30 points, 31 points per game. Yeah, I mean, if he meets do you have to meet the threshold for the for the all-pro teams? Is that, I know for the awards you have to meet the 65 game threshold.
I could have. Well, damn, that's a good question.
Because LeBron's at 58 games, Giannis is at 51. He should hit it. How many games are left in this season?
It's like close to 20, less than 20.
So I mean,
we're like 5 weeks away from the playoffs. So
right, if he doesn't play every game, I mean, he might not.
Interesting.
Yeah, D-Rab, I was looking up that as well. Bron has plus 50,000 odds to win MVP. I think Jason Tatum was plus like 60,000 odds, but Jokic is the closest to SGA with. I think on mine it was plus.
So no love to New York.
320. Who are you putting on there, Jalen Brunson? You putting him over D. Mitch?
It's positionless. So
you're putting him over.
It could be 4 to 5 guards.
Let's check Brunson's numbers.
The number 3 seed.
Yeah, but the West though. the West?
Hmm.
The 3 seed in the West or the 3 seed in the East?
Damn, they're disrespectful to your Sixers, damn man. Damn.
It was funny. It was funny, bruh. I was looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think it is. The Minnesota Timberwolves are the 7 seed in the West right now. They would be the 4 seed in the East right now.
That's exactly how it was last season with my Warriors. We was the 8th seed, I think. We was in the East. We would have been like the 6th seed or something like that.
Yeah.
We would have made the playoffs, basically. So,
so that's where I'm getting at. Like, if it comes down to like, I don't know, my mind goes to LeBron, but I know that's a little bit of recency bias with the way the Lakers have been playing.
I mean, it's okay
Brunson's
to
in the
admit
combo, yeah. And Giannis, if he meets the threshold, his production, like, he's the easy answer. 51 games. I just don't know. 36 and 27. Let's see here.
It's definitely a topic for sure. So.
36 plus 27, 63 minus 82, 19 games left for the Bucks. So he would have to play 14 of 19 games to finish the season to meet the threshold. But I don't know if that's for all pro, though. Or all NBA, excuse me. All NBA first team. I know for the awards, you have to play 65 games, but
yeah.
No, it is interesting, man. We mentioned the Warriors, the T-Wolves, Boston Celtics, all on 5-game win streaks. We talked about the
state, baby.
Yes, sir. Yeah, bro. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to bring up for you. It was regarding Steph. Just became like assistant GM for Davidson.
Yes,
while he's still a player, which is just insane that you can even do that. But I saw it was a funny post on X earlier, bro. They were like, economy's so bad that Steph need a second job.
Come on.
And I thought that was hilarious. Like,
I wouldn't say that was the reason why, though, but I get the joke, though.
Do you have some inside scoop? What is the reason? I know he went to school there, but like, why just so like? Why right now? Why not after the playing career? Maybe.
Well, that lets me know that closer to the end, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just me though. I don't know.
He's loading up his plate for post NBA, right?
He could, you know,
could be.
Steph could wake up tomorrow and say he's done. You know, he's first ballot Hall of Famer. You know, no doubt. And I think he just, like you said, just looking at his, you know, life after basketball, like you know, seeing the things that he can get into. So I think it'll be a good job for him. You know, he's a basketball mind. He's intelligent as hell.
Yeah.
So I think that role fits him for sure.
And it'll help Davidson, you would think, with recruitment, right? And investment into the school. So we'll see what happens with that. It's pretty cool nonetheless, though, that Steph steps in and is going to be playing a major role there. Yo, the Sixers, bro. We don't have to talk about them for long. We can end the show after this if you want. But the Sixers, man, they really have a chance of getting a bottom 5 record, bro. Like, we really might get our draft pick.
What is crazy about that? When I was looking at the standings, I just seen that the Nets is. I mean, y'all are tied for the same record, but they are above y'all in the standings. So
because they've won the season series. I don't know if it's finished yet, but they definitely have won more games against us than what we've won against them.
Yeah, but it's confusing. Like the Blazers is a perfect example. Like, they are a young team, and I promise you, like in the next 2 years or so, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
But it's like you would think that they're just a young rebuilding team trying to purposely lose, but they're not. It's like they're trying to build winning. Yeah, they have some pretty impressive wins this season. They're trying to build like winning habits, which, you know, it makes sense. Like when you're young coming to this league, you don't want to get accustomed to just losing games. Like you would just be known a loser, you know. But I think that's actually important that, you know, Chauncey Billups and those guys are actually going out there and competing and not let teams, you know, just belittle them and just get free wins. They're going to have to earn them.
Yeah.
Whereas it to like, I don't know, let's just say Toronto, Charlotte, you know, it's obvious they're not trying to win games. And it's the same thing with Brooklyn as well. Like, they're not just trying to win games, but they're not going to make it obvious they're not trying to win games. So
they beat the Lakers the other night. You know, like that's an easy game to just like chill out and take a L.
Yeah, that's why I say it don't make sense. But that's why I say they're not going to make it obvious they're not trying to win games.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to go out there and compete, you know. So
I think it does take the right situation to, like, quote unquote tank. Like, I think it takes the right situation, because you look at Charlotte and Washington specifically, and it's like, even if they get the number 1 pick and they get Cooper Flagg, is he changing their direction? Like, I think the world of Cooper Flagg.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a team that has been going nowhere for a very, very long time.
Yeah. And that's a lot of pressure, you know.
Like, the Charlotte Hornets are a better example. They have LaMelo Ball. He's supposed to be a star. They have some other guys mixed in there, but they still only amount up to what, 16 wins again? Like, they're tanking again? You know, like, that's just not good for culture. So I think, to Portland's standpoint, like, they have enough young talent. I think at this point you need to hopefully add, you know, maybe a veteran starish player to this roster, and maybe your young guys can come too. But
they have a ton of talent over there for sure. We just played them last night.
New Orleans is the interesting one too, because if they get, do they have their pick actually? Is that maybe where I'm getting?
I would assume so.
A little misconstrued, because I'm just thinking of Zion, the core that they have now, right? The Trey Murphy III, all those guys they got down there right now. You add an Ace Bailey or a Dylan Harper or you know, any top 5 pick to that team.
Yeah,
that's a good addition. That's a good team to go to, barring health, going into next season. So that's an interesting one to me as well. But you look at the Jazz, the Pelicans, the Wizards, and the Hornets are the only teams. And the Raptors. They're the only teams that are technically below us. The Raptors we're only a half a game ahead of the Raptors. So that's the team we're going to be competing head to head with to get below,
so my thing
to get into that top 5.
Like, are the Sixers even trying to get to the play-in, or they're just done with the season? Or
I think they're done. I think they're done, bro.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Eugene's out. Maxi's been sitting out. I think they shut Quentin Grimes down. Like, we don't need to win any more games. We actually play the Raptors. It might be. Is it tonight?
Yeah, Quentin
No,
Grimes,
tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. So
Quentin
we need to lose that game. Quentin Grimes, yeah, he is a keeper. Him and Yabusele. I'm trying to think through the roster. Like, who's coming with me next year? Like, Yabusele, Quentin Grimes, PG's going to be here, unfortunately. Embiid, Maxey, McCain. That's my 6 right now. Yeah, I like Yabusele. He's kind of falling off during this latter part, but the whole team
really don't matter.
Whole team has.
Like,
so
Quentin
we
Grimes
just need
like 60% on twos. It's crazy.
Who?
Quentin Grimes. 60% on twos, bro. Like,
it's so interesting, bro, because every time I watch, I swear he's bricking everything. But whenever I don't watch, he's lights out, bro. I have not watched a game yet. And mind you, I've not been watching the Sixers that much. I'm not.
I don't blame you.
I'm just not. I'm not. I watch other NBA games. I watch primetime matchups, but I can't do the intentionally losing in like bad basketball. Like it makes me sick to my stomach. So
start watching those Warriors, man.
Yeah, I do. I do tend to catch quite a few Warriors games. I try to catch Nuggets games. I try to catch good basketball, quite honestly, bro, because there's a drought. There's a drought in Philadelphia of good basketball right now.
It can be therapy, so yeah, I don't blame you.
Facts, bro. Let me ask you this. You got anything else before we get out of here tonight, brother?
That's pretty much it, man. Is there some good matchups coming out tonight? Or?
No, that's a good question. Let's see what we got tonight. Got it right here. That's Wednesday, so we're on Tuesday. So tomorrow night we got the Thunder and the Celtics. So that's a great matchup tomorrow night. But
I don't really see that tonight. I just see the Bucks and the Pacers. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Clippers and Pelicans. I mean, are the Pelicans intentionally losing games right now?
I don't know, but
doesn't look like it because it looks like Zion's playing. So
yeah, he has been playing. So
Bucks and Pacers, they're in a tight match right now. But yeah, the rest of these games should be blowouts, right? Maybe not the Clippers and Pels, but those other two games, Wizards and Pistons and Cavs and Nets. So we'll see how tonight goes. I was originally thinking with March Madness coming up this weekend, I might not be able to go live with you, but we'll see how it plays out, man. I'm actually eager to get back on here with you and talk some more. So we'll see what comes to over the latter end of the week. The only thing, Duke plays on Thursday, and I think with the ACC tournament goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but maybe it's every other day. If they don't play on Friday, we should be able to get one in. But we'll keep you guys posted. That's why you need to go to the YouTube channel if you haven't already and subscribe to NBA to the Galaxy Pod. Help us out. Turn the notifications on and help yourself out so you're notified each and every time that we go live on the channel. If you do that, hopefully we will see you later on this week. We would really, really love to get you guys involved in the comments. So please, if you're watching on X, we appreciate the views over there, of course. We appreciate any and all views. But we would love it if you come over to the YouTube channel, interact with us like D-Rab here in the comments. Let me know how the PSG Liverpool game is going. We accept all comments. It doesn't matter if it matches the content or not. But we appreciate each and every viewer. We love breaking down this NBA content, and it's only going to get better as we approach and go into the playoffs. So tap in with us, everybody. That being said, be sure to give my man Slimothy Jones, otherwise known as Slim, a follow at RTR30111 on X. You can find myself at Scotty Drown on X. You'll find the pod at To The Galaxy Pod on X. Make sure to follow there. And of course, once again, hit that subscribe button. We will see you later this week. Dig into some more NBA action. Maybe get into our updated power rankings. It's been quite a while. So we'll get a full scope of the NBA later this week. We'll see everybody there. Peace.